I got caught up over the weekend finishing up my Dephemerember projects. I got 11 and 12 finished up, and yesterday's I have not done, and today's hasn't been posted yet. So I'll be working on that this morning, but I needed to get this done and put online on YouTube. So this was the envelope, leaves, and owl. So the recycling I like to do in a lot of my journals, these were card envelopes that were given to me, and I just cut out the name area, took the envelope apart, and so I could line the inside of it in here. And I used a pink paper, so it's kind of weird colored. I put a hydrangea leaf in there, which is crumbling apart as we talk. It was real pretty red. Okay, get back in there without breaking it up. Sewed around to get the plastic set on there, and then glued the envelope back together. Added my owl to it. This is another recycled envelope. So I just cut out the writing that was on the front, and then took the whole envelope apart, sewed the plastic inside. This was junk mail business envelope, so I cut off the whole top of it, but then I took and lined it with my own cardstock paper that I spray oxided. I have two little places here for the leaves, ginkgo leaves. And then there's actually a couple pockets. So I put my little owl in there, peeking out. This was left over from another project, so I added it here. I don't usually use commercial paper, and this project is to use up stuff you have, so that's why I'm using the commercial paper. It's like, I like my own hand-dyed papers, but I have these that I bought 10, 15 years ago, maybe longer, and never was in the neat and tidy type of scrapbooking, and I tried, but I didn't like it. Then I ran across this junk journal process, 5 years ago. So the washi tape was also something else that I had bought that I thought I would use, and don't even like it because it doesn't stay on, it doesn't stick on. So it's kind of a weird thing, but it's definitely a catchy name. So I've been using that. You actually have to glue it down. This one I really didn't like much at all because it's commercial paper again. I did fussy cut some leaves out of a flower book. But then when I added the charm to it, added my owl, and added this feather in the window, now I like it. It's okay. I have the quote on here, and I added this charm, which is a little piece of fern that somebody had made. And these are a couple more I have. This one again is the ginkgo leaves. And it was kind of a brown envelope with a little bit of writing on it, so I put some washi tape on it there. So I actually could use the whole envelope. This one again I covered with commercial paper and cutouts from different cards and stuff. And this had a piece of paper crossed here on the business envelope, and I took it off. This one again is covered with commercial paper and a cutout of a fussy cut owl out of a book or a magazine. And then these were leftover napkins from a party I went to recently. So I made this fluffy tree. So that was the 11th challenge for Dephemerember. And then the next challenge was bookmarks and clear packaging. So I use cardstock as the base, and then because I try not to waste any tissue paper, I use my tissue paper to sop up color when I'm doing projects. And this is the one I'm in process of sopping up with. And then once I get it done, I literally put it in a file system, and they're all in here by color. Then I go through, and some of them are actually gel print processes where I've needed tissue to clean up my gel plate or relief some print on the gel plate. But then once it's full of stuff, then I go back in and stamp on it or stencil on it. And then I have this really pretty tissue paper. This one I stamped moths and leaves on. Some of them show up better, but I just like the vagueness of it. And this was color that I sopped up from one of the projects I was doing. So the ones I like the most, I think, were these. Oh, wait a second. Can't find them. Okay, these. So I did a little bit of a collage. This was a textured paper that had string and such in it. And then the packaging was clear packaging from cards. These are brand new ones, but some of them were used in cards that I didn't like, but they were still in the plastic packaging. So I took all the packaging, cut it all apart, took and stamped permanent archival ink on it, but I found it still wiped off. I don't know, whoever else did it, I don't know how they got it to stay on there. So what I did was turn the picture over, so then the stamped part is on the inside. And so it's not gonna wipe off now. Yeah, I have the stamped stuff on here. This is some type of paper, woven paper on the background. You can see it on this one better. This paper back here is woven paper. And this is tag board that I put behind my work when I'm spraying the oxide sprays. And then this is the tissue paper, and I added the stamps to it. So that one I really like, and I do like this one too. I added some fabrics and lace to it. And then the back is the recycled tissue paper with stamps. So that's what all these bookmarks are. This was some purple paper on black tissue. Actually, it was gel print in the background on black tissue paper. So I evidently was cleaning off the gel plate, and then I took white ink pad and stamped the leaves on it. And this is a brown paper bag that I lay down. I open up the bag and I lay it down, and when I'm coffee dyeing, sometimes the coffee is really wet and it runs off onto the, I do it out on my porch, so I don't want it running onto the summer bed out there, and it pools on the cardstock, on the brown paper bag, and leaves a cool design. I don't know if we can really see it. Let me see if that shows. Oh, let's see. Yeah, the reflection on this paper is hard too. Oh, that turned out real pretty with the green leaves. So I have a whole bunch of them. This project is mass making, so you make a bunch and put it in your file. in your box, which we have a little box to put in. So I've got those all done, and then I ran out of the floating envelopes already, so I went and made a bunch more of them, and I used that brown bag. It's hard to see. The brown bag that when I'm coffee dyeing, it gets puddles of coffee on it. And then I have these specimen cards with feathers in it. I thought I'd add it to that. This one, I added the little bird. So these are basically 3 layers of paper that you rip in the center and then fold back all of them. And I want, the music sheet is the last one, but it's the first one showing here, and that's what I wanted. So I'd coffee stained on some of it, or actually oxide spray. And then on the backs of them, you have to add one more page, so you've got a pocket and your newsprint for the inside the pocket, but then I added this and another pocket on the back. Since it's a free floating pocket, I wanted them to have double use, the front and the back. And a couple of these were kind of, that's that, now you can see that paper, the brown paper bag that when I'm coffee dyeing other things, like I was coffee dyeing lace. Let me see if I can find one of those real quick. Lace. So this is just regular copy paper, and I lay a doily down, and then I spray coffee on it, and so it leaves the. That is not. That was a spray. Here's another one. And so it gets kind of soppy, and so I let it run off on the brown paper bag that I have laid out. And so that's, I like the design on it. More pockets. So I did like a collage pocket there. So that is all of these with some things in the pockets already. But most of these are just mass making, so when I go to do a project, I can decorate it with more butterflies on the outside and add color to it to match whatever journal I'm making. So that's 3. Check off my list, and here is my ephemera box for this mass making project. Let's see if I can get that in the picture. Move things over. Covered it with some old artwork that was not mine, but this was some type of box, and it's corrugated, and it had this star on it, so I thought that was kind of cool with this. So I cut this off and added some more over on that side. This is how full it's getting already. These are all these other projects. But, yeah, these are the, oh, these are just pocket envelopes. These are not just floating pocket. This was the buttons and lace. And then these are the postcards. And tags. So I'll add this to my box. It's getting pretty full. So it's been a fun project. I'm going to take these bigger ones, put them somewhere. just envelopes to add to journals. So the next project this morning I'm going to work on is belly bands and butterfly labels. So that's it for today. Spend my time playing in this art room. Might as well show you a picture of the art room real quick. I got my heated blanket under my chair for keeping my legs warm. Ugh. That's my lighting system. I also have this little ring light in there. And my Lego trash can. And my file system for my handmade papers. Notebooks for stencils. A jewelry box for beads. My typewriter. It's a fun spot. This is all the ephemera shelves, and the purple shelf is different supplies that I can reach right from my chair. And the stencils and altered books with all my art drawings in them. And then other paints and stuff stacked right here next to my poor printer that I use from the other side at my office. It's over there. And my gel printing spot is over here. Right now I'm repairing this for one of my friends, gluing it back together and changing the bulb for her. But this is the gel printing spot with all the paints and ledgers of different projects. And more shelving for supplies, all kinds of supplies here. Toolboxes. And then my junk journal shelf. Those 3 journals are ones I created on a trip to California for 33 days camping. It's a dark picture. Guess I better quit.